everybody, and welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hitt. My name is Jessica Hitt, and on today's episode, we're doing something quite different, but you know what? It's my channel. I feel like doing this, and I'm a big fan now of the WWE, and we're going to be talking about the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view that happened this Sunday. This year's Elimination Chamber made history 2 times, one by, of course, having the women's first Elimination Chamber match, and also by having the first 7-man men's chamber match. And we're going to start with, of course, the beginning, which is going to be the women's Elimination Chamber match. We start with Bayley and Sonya Deville, and, you know, I actually really enjoyed the whole match itself. There were some slow parts during it, and I think that fans aren't really invested in Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. With the Absolution team, I think everyone wants to see Paige, but of course, since she is injured, we don't really get that as much, which is very, very sad. And to be honest, I would have really, really loved to have seen Paige in an Elimination Chamber match. But I kind of am into Absolution as a whole. I like Sonya Deville a lot. I think that she can be something really great later on, especially if she does end up breaking away from Absolution. Mandy Rose, I think, has really improved from really just kind of being brought on from the Tough Enough show and not having any experience wrestling, and she's tried really hard, and I actually think she's doing pretty good. And then, of course, you have the just awesome foursome of Bayley, who, you know what, like, Bayley's a great wrestler, but I'm still not sure about her character. This whole, like, I love hugging thing is a little much. Sasha Banks was in this. She's awesome. Like, she's one of the best. And then, of course, you have women's champion Alexa Bliss, who is always great. And then you have Mickie James, a huge veteran. What I do think that this match did really well was it continued this thing of Mandy Rose being the first person eliminated from these things. Like, she was the first woman ever to be eliminated from the Royal Rumble and a women's elimination chamber. So I kind of like that. I think it would be fun to continue on with that, like with a Hell in a Cell match or in the next Money in the Bank. Even though they've already had the Money in the Bank and you can't be eliminated from it still. I think things like that are fun. I think that it really built up Bayley's character, who I've never quite gotten behind, but I really appreciated how strong she looked in this match. I like this developing feud going on between her and Sasha Banks, which was continued on Raw, of course. And I think that it really works, especially because they have great chemistry. Sasha Banks has chemistry with anybody she's in the ring with. And her and Bayley are such good friends outside the ring that I think that it really, really works when they do this kind of stuff. Plus, I feel like it gives you a reason to root for Bayley because, of course, Sasha would be the heel in this case. I think it'd be more interesting if they tried to make Bayley a heel, but I don't think that's happening. I don't really think that's in our future, at least for the foreseeable future. I do think, however, it is a damn shame the way that Mickie James went out, because she went in guns a-blazing, she was great, and she got caught off guard by Bayley, and I was, like, so annoyed. Okay, you bring back Mickie James, you need to give her a little something, I think. Because she's in her, like, 40s now, and she looks great, and she can still wrestle great, and she was one of the only great wrestlers of that time period, of course, Trish Stratus and Alita, but really not much came after her. That became kind of that really bad era with, like, the Kelly Kellys and others. And I also think this was a great match for Alexa Bliss, who showed off a lot of how she's afraid, and she's this really great kind of cowardly heel in a way, but she's also awesome. And she, you know, takes advantage of times when you get a Sasha heel turn and, you know, you get Bayley out and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think it really works, and I think it's also a great choice to have her keep on to her Raw Women's Champion, especially because I think, personally going into WrestleMania, I would prefer to see an Asuka versus Alexa Bliss match. Personally, I think it'd be more fun to watch Asuka continue on with her undefeated streak at WrestleMania against a great Alexa Bliss, who is just like, she's gold on a mic. She's really quite good. Her promo that she did after the match was fantastic. She starts out with this really fake sentimentality, and then she goes straight into the crowd saying that no one's ever going to achieve their dreams that are here, and she's the goddess and all this kind of stuff. Really, really worked in her favor. And I'll tell you, I haven't always been the biggest Alexa Bliss fan, but she's really winning me over. Continuing on with the Elimination Chamber, we get the tag team title match, the first out of 3 matches between The Bar and Sheamus and Cesaro, and of course, Titus Worldwide, which I was not invested whatsoever. I wasn't paying attention too much. I'm probably more rooting for the Bar, in my opinion. And while there were some pretty good moments to it, I think that my thing with like Apollo Crews is I think he's incredibly talented, but I think that I don't know. I don't like this idea of him being with Titus Worldwide. It's just kind of, it's there, you know? I don't really care about the tag team for Raw. Like, I'm a little bit more interested in SmackDown's tag team division with the Usos and the New Day and all of them, and I think that's a bit more interesting than the Bar. Titus Worldwide. Ooh. Which is also a bit of a problem with this brand split. I'm not quite liking this idea of completely different rosters on Raw and SmackDown. I'd like a little bit more interconnectivity. And I like what they're doing with the pay-per-views and taking out a couple of just Raw and just SmackDown and making it dual branded. I think that's smart because it gets all of your superstars, the big names, in one place. And that's what you need to sell tickets. We then, of course, go to the second women's match in this, which is the undefeated Asuka, Empress of Tomorrow, versus Nia Jax. And, of course, Asuka's going to win this. I mean, obviously. I didn't care much for this match in the sense that Nia Jax just really brutalized Asuka the entire time and made her a little bit more human. And I don't appreciate that. I want Asuka to be undefeated for at least another year. I want her to be kind of like this sort of goddess, I guess, like this thing that no one thinks that they can be, and then all of a sudden you bring in somebody, whether it's Ember Moon, whether it's Kairi Sane, whether it's someone else in NXT or someone they're going to bring in from the indies or a new discovery type of person to defeat her, and that kind of starts a reign of another person. So I don't know exactly what they're doing with Asuka. I'm assuming she will eventually be Raw Women's Champion at WrestleMania, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, it was an interesting match, but it was a little too much of brutalizing Asuka and making her a little too human for my taste. And then, of course, the worst part of the night, which was the match between, who was it? Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. And don't get me wrong, I love the Hardy Boys, but I miss Jeff. I miss Jeff Hardy a lot. Jeff, please get better and get back in the ring so you can be a tag team. That's what we need. We need Team Extreme back on. And you know what? I like the woken, broken Matt Hardy type thing. I like it. Bray Wyatt, I actually kind of like him as a character too, but I don't really care much about them single match feuding type of thing. Like, I thought what they did with the Royal Rumble was kind of fun, where they teamed up for a split second and then they just started beating the crap out of each other and then they both go over the top rope together. I think that's okay, but like, this match was just so boring. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of two major characters in the sense that they're like both very kind of crazy. Having a feud together. I think it's nice when you have one person that's a little bit more grounded versus somebody that's a little bit more character type, a character archetype type of thing. And so this just did not work for me. I barely paid attention during the match. Like, I just didn't care at all. I need a Hardy Boys reunion. I need them to take on the Bar and get the Raw Tag Team Title Championship again. I think that would make the league way more interesting. But no, I get Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy singles match. And then we end the night with the 7-man Elimination Chamber, first ever one. And it was good. It's probably not my favorite out of what I've seen. And I haven't seen a lot, to be honest. This is the only one I've seen live and like when it's actually happening. I've watched a lot of like older stuff. And you know, my thing is, you build up Braun Strowman so much. I would much rather see Braun Strowman go against Brock Lesnar for the whatever thing they're doing, the World one, the Universal Champion. I don't know which one it is. They have a million different ones that are the same exact thing. Anyway, I'd rather see that than Roman Reigns. I really would. Like, no, it would be great if they added Braun Strowman and made it a triple threat match. I think that'd be so much more interesting. And to be honest, I'd really like to see Roman Reigns go. Like, just, I need to see him downfall. Like, really, this is the 4th or 5th WrestleMania in a row that he's like main evented. I don't need that. Nobody really cares that much about it. And while I think Roman Reigns is a great wrestler, right on the verge of being a great wrestler. And he's certainly improved on his promo skills. However, he's still not the greatest. I think, you know, he's got a great gimmick, and there's just something so lackluster about it. And also this idea of WWE just picking someone and pushing them instead of having it come so organically, which is really, they need to work on that, in my opinion. I think they're doing a really good job with the women's division with that, because you have, obviously it's so small because it's really starting out for like the first time ever being a women's division, with real talent and people who want to wrestle. So it's a bit easier to pick out those people that are star power on their own. And so for the men's, which is so bloated, and there's so many people, and John Cena's going to be leaving soon, so they need a new John Cena. And for some reason, they picked Roman Reigns when there's a couple different people it probably should have been, Seth Rollins, but whatever. And also, I don't know, I mean, I'm assuming John Cena is going to go up against The Undertaker. I think that he got himself a fast lane match. I don't think he's going to succeed, and I think he's going to try to call out The Undertaker again. And I think it's going to work, and that's going to be The Undertaker's retirement match. And I think it's going to be one of John Cena's last matches if he continues on this road of making movies and stuff for Hollywood, which, I mean, you do you, John Cena, whatevs. And I'm not quite sure what they're doing with Seth Rollins either. I don't know how he's going to fit into WrestleMania whatsoever. He doesn't have Money in the Bank this time. He didn't win the Royal Rumble. He didn't do the Elimination Chamber. He can't do tag team because Jason Jordan has been announced he's not coming back until after WrestleMania. So I have no clue what they're doing with that. We'll see. Dean Ambrose is still injured, so he can't do like a Shield thing. And Roman Reigns is going on to main events. So, and then you got Finn Balor. Who knows what they're going to do there. I don't know. Maybe they should just do what they used to do with all of the divas and the women's before, they started getting a little bit of respect, and just put them all in one match. So you just have a 6-man tag team with 2 teams or 3 teams. Who knows? We can do even more than that. And, just pair them up with whoever, because it doesn't matter, and stick them on each other. And it doesn't care who wins, and give them 3 minutes to do the match, because that's how long you can do a storyline for. Yes, that is what the women have had to deal with for centuries now. Centuries, okay, like a couple decades. I am excited to see what they do with all of these random players, see if they are going to go to WrestleMania. I mean, there's only so many slots you can fill, and Fastlane's coming up, so we'll see what's going on the SmackDown side. And yeah, that's about it. Overall, Elimination Chamber was decent. I mean, I think it definitely could have been better. I think the women's, it's tough when you have the best people that could have been in Elimination Chamber on separate rosters. So, like, the SmackDown people, they can do Fastlane, but they're not going to be able to do an Elimination Chamber, which is really unfortunate, because I would have liked to have seen a Becky Lynch in there. I would have liked to have seen, who else is on SmackDown? Even a Naomi or a Natalya, I think, would be a little bit better fit than 2 people from Absolution. Also, I wonder, what's going on with Paige. Like, originally, were they kind of leading towards her being in the Elimination Chamber, and like, who took her spot? Was it Mickie James and have all of Absolution, or did they put one other member of Absolution back in, like Mandy Rose? No clue. I'd be really interested to find that out. Also, Paige, please get better. We need you on Raw, so you need a little edge. We need a little bit of edge. Okay, I hope you guys like this sort of a change of pace of these reviews. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I am not doing great today. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe. I make videos Monday through Friday. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.